was courtesy of Techno subreddit. Again, the best subreddit on Reddit, maybe second only to the berghain community subreddit, and then second only to the tfatk, the Fat and the Kids subreddit. I fucking love this subreddit. Always very interesting conversations around techno in the scene. Now, this is very close to my heart because I've had many a things. I've said many a things over the years about Fabric, about E1. I think they're two of our worst and best clubs in London. Fabric specifically because it's an institution, but over the years I've been to Fabric many times, many times over my fucking clubbing, life and whatever it may be. And I can honestly say the amount of times I've had good times in Fabric, I can count them on one hand. It's always shit for the most part, and it's a really shame because Fabric as a club is amazing. The rooms are fucking sick, especially room 2, how they fucking refurbed that. It's fucking amazing. The room at the top, which you go up some stairs, I think that's room 3. That's really great. I think I saw Cormac once there doing a disco set. Well, it might be one of the best sets that I've ever witnessed in that particular room. The vibe is fucking immaculate. But unfortunately, the people that go there, the mix of crowds from like university students to finance guys to the people from the queer scene to roadman to lads, it's just too much. The overabundance of security, there's just like, it feels like there's like hundreds of security guards working any particular night, flashing their lights on the dance floor, literally like choke slamming you to the ground if they see you putting your hand in your pocket for too long or looking like you're taking a bump somewhere, pushing the doors open in the toilet. It's just complete vibe killer. Excessive searching before you come in, pictures, emptying every fucking pocket, sticking their fingers in your armpit, in your asshole. It's just horrible. But to give Fabric credit, over the years they've been really good with changing their booking and their programming and sort of like welcoming in a new crowd. They're not just about minimal, it's not just about Ricardo Villalobos and Seth Troxer and them, man. They're trying to change the people that come there by maybe inviting different promoters, giving other people chances who probably wouldn't put parties on Fabric to try and kind of mix up their crowds. But unfortunately it doesn't work. Because if you have like let's say if you have like a queer LGBTQ based sort of crowd and party promotion and you put them in Fabric, yes, they're going to kill it, but the mix of people that go there is just going to, it's not going to provide a conducive scene or conducive environment. And it's going to produce what people love to say, not a safe space. And this is a good example of it. Somebody posted this on the Techno subreddit. So, dear Fabric creeps, yesterday night, the 2nd of November 2024, I witnessed the most predatory forms of harassment than ever have one in single night, 9 to be precise. I know this club's crowd is very hit and miss depending on the day or the lineup, and yesterday was Halloween weekend, so it opened up the possibility to come across a bunch of drunk clubbers just looking to get fucked up, but the lineup was something we were looking forward to. Again, in this particular case, I really hate to defend Fabric, but it's your own fault. Why would you go to Fabric on Halloween? That's like going out clubbing on New Year's Eve and thinking you're gonna have a good time. Avoid Halloween, avoid New Year's Eve. These times there's just too many, weekend warriors, people who don't usually go out. It's just full of too many, randoms. It's the worst time to go out. So you kind of did it yourself. You have yourself to blame, even though it's not, not trying to victim blame or victim shame, whatever. You did do it yourself. Going out at Halloween, especially to Fabric, is a no-no, I would say. But again, what do I know? I hate that this club is a great space for atmospheric lighting, design, a very decent sound system and a really good lineups, but someone in our group is always either groped or made uncomfortable verbally. Most of the times we can't ever relax in the crowd. We have to be extra careful with people and it sucks all the fun away. That's what happens when you're a baddie, innit? When you're a baddie, people want to get near you. No, I'm joking, but it must, again, Fabric is just one of those places that kind of reminds you of just how special clubs like Fold, clubs like Venue MOT, Color Factory, even the Yard are. That's why I think it should exist, because when people like myself get a little bit pissed, a little bit bored, a little bit fed up and fatigued of Fold, I've been there so many times, I've spoken about it too much, I'm always on my fucking knees, sucking the club off. But the reality is when you go to other clubs, you start to appreciate the ones that we do have that are decent. Like, it really does remind you of it, because like Fabric is like a reflection of most clubs in London. If you go there, like, with a group of people and, you're dressed in a certain way, you're from a particular scene, you have a particular aesthetic, you're going to attract a very different type of energy than you would if you were in a space that is for people like yourself. It just is what it is. Unfortunately, it's one of the you kind of run that risk when you go there. We also noticed 3 separate instances of people being rude to staff, which should be more than enough reason to immediately kick them out. Imagine what those losers are like to other people if they're treating staff like shit. Yeah, that happens all the time. I think, to be fair, that's why I've noticed whenever I've gone to Fabric, I felt like the staff have been kind of rude and short with you. But it makes sense. They have to be like that because most of the people they interact with are cunts. So they're kind of on the defensive, They're not really in a good mood. They're not really in a good vibe. So everything, like from the moment you go there, from the queue, from the search, it's a vibe killer. You have to go and put your jacket up in some upstairs place, then go downstairs. It's almost like you're getting carted off to prison. And then you go down the basement, you go down many stairs to go down in the main room, and then people are coming up from the stairs, falling over, someone's crossing over your path, stepping on you. It's like all just weird like energy. Like you go that 11 p.m, you see people that look like they've been out since Thursday, or someone just getting up now. It's just like so many different vibes and energies. It's all over the place, to be fair. Anyway, if you're one of those people and you're reading this, you'll forever continue to be a low life who goes to clubs to make people uncomfortable. If you don't reconsider yourself and keep straying further away from meaningful relationships, if you're reading this, I hate you and wish you the worst disease possible. I love this club, hence why I felt like having a little rant, since I tended to frequent it quite a lot. One of my most memorable nights when I was when I went to see Karen a year ago. The music was incredibly emotional and the sound system was really good. Great crowd, friendly people, not one single unpleasant encounter of this kind. Again, that's a rare. Look at this person said they've been there many times and the best time they went was a year ago. That's just proof that it's mostly shit. So in my opinion, like I've ranted about Fabric, I've ranted about E1 too often, and what I did, which I think most people should do, vote with your feet. Just stop going. If somewhere is terrible, vote with your feet, because unfortunately, as I always say, I think there's evil is meant to exist, horrible people are meant to exist, creeps are meant to exist, but it's up to us to kind of call it out, right? I don't think you can ever rid yourself of like creeps and weirdos. If there's good people, there's always going to be the opposite. But I think it's the responsibility of the clubs to filter out those people. It's not up to you. You can't really do much. You can't stop people being creeps, but it's up to the responsibility of the club to make sure creeps don't come in. But unfortunately, Fabric is also just a regular nightclub, and it's in a part of London where, they probably can't avoid those type of people, and they just want to make a business. They kind of want to keep the lights on, so they just let anybody in for the most part. As long as you got ID, you can get in. I've seen people that should not be anywhere near that club because they're clearly too high and too drunk. I was once there, actually. That was the last time I kind of went, I think, to go see Ricardo Villalobos, and some guy literally collapsed because he was high off ket too much. The girlfriend who I was dancing next to was screaming, like literally screaming, and the people came over and shit, and they woke him up and stuff, and he was okay after a while, but they let him stay in the club. He didn't even get escorted out or whatever, or told to go home. He was still in there. Last night. Why is this guy still? I mean, he literally just collapsed a minute ago. Like, there's been, again, not to put any smut on Fabric's name, but there's been a ton of people who died there recently. Like, it's not the best place to go in club, unfortunately. They've got great lineups. Legendary people have passed through there. It's, the history of Fabric will forever be cemented in London, but I don't think, you should be surprised when you go to a club like that and it's shit, because, it's generally shit. Another person said here, I went to Fabric recently. I've never been before. While I don't go out a lot, I've experienced a fair few of London venues: Corsica, Ministry, Phonics, Night Tales, Fold, Printworks, and when it's open, a handful of others. My friend warned me about the crowds at Fabric, but I honestly thought, how bad could it be? Considering I've been to Ministry a few times, the crowds there are 4 out of 10 at the best of time. But Ministry is quite decent. Ministry is quite decent. My God, was I wrong? Hands down, was the worst crowd I've ever experienced by a long shot. When you're in a crowd and packed in like sardines, but everyone is dancing and you're all kind of conscious not to take up too much space, so you're bumping backs and shoulders and elbows, but overall everyone's being respectful. Yeah, well, this is like having 5 hands on you at any point. Yeah, especially room 1. The main room is legendary for that. Like, that's part of the reason why it's also quite good, because literally everybody's on you. Like, everybody's on you. I can imagine what it must be like if you're a girl. Luckily, I'm a dude, and I look the way that I look, so no one's gonna be feeling up on my buttocks or on my chest anytime soon. But I imagine if you're a buxom woman, or if you're a petite woman, you probably, the amount of foreign hands and foreign bodies that are rubbing on your body, it's mind blowing, because everyone's like, on top of everybody. Someone's bending over trying to get a key bump in. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. People are constantly moving in and out, pretty much shoving their way to wherever they wanted to go. So many men who looked like they had no clue why they were there, just staring daggers into the person in front of them and not chance. Yeah, that's one thing that's really funny back forward. If you start dancing enthusiastically, you get a ton of people like pointing and looking at you like, oh, look at that guy dancing. Look at that guy having fun. Someone might high five you. It's like, bro, it's a nightclub. What am I meant to do? Like, they look at you like you're a fucking freak for dancing, like literally for having a good time. Because I'll find like a little corner, usually sometimes around the back of the DJ booth. There's a little area there where I'll probably stand, or I'll stand like to the right of the DJ booth. If you're looking at the DJ booth itself, that's quite a little spot, and people will literally look at you like you're a circus animal. Like, he's dancing in a nightclub, he's dancing, look at him go. Like, it's so bizarre. Honestly, I've never, it's such a weird feeling, because they were like high five you. It's like, hold on, like, it's just kind of patronizing. Why are you high fiving me because I'm dancing in a nightclub? Why aren't you dancing? Why are you even looking at me? Like, you mind your business. Generally, the biggest challenge of the night was trying to find small pockets of alright people to dance with. Exactly. This was to see Rod had and Ignaz mostly, and to me, if those acts attract that sort of crowd, I really don't want to know what more mainstream nights are like. That's the thing. It's a mainstream club. It doesn't matter who plays. The same crowds are there. The Ricardo Villalobos event I went to was probably quite bad. You know, I was lucky because I was allowed to go to the green room, so I kind of escaped some of the nonsense. But again, the green room also had a lot of wankers in it as well. You know, standard kind of dance industry music people who are trying to like suck up to people. I just wanted to sit in there and, you know, and take my multivitamins. But yeah, it's a mad place. It's a mad place, man. The club is too popular in a central location. Exactly. That's a good point. The club is too popular in a central location. It is what it is. Last post here. Every time I go to Fabric, someone in my group gets harassed, assaulted. It's horrible. We stopped going. Sucks because their sound system is banging and they schedule good artist slots. And the crowd is abhorrent. They should implement a door policy. Never gonna happen. Most clubs in London, the door policy thing is a luxury. You can't do that in London. The opening times are disgustingly bad. Obviously, Fabric is a bit lucky because they can open until 7, I think, or 8. But you just can't get away with that. No one's gonna have it. People will protest. The club might get shut down. Like, imagine if they turned away some kid who's like the son or the daughter of some diplomat or some MP. They could easily get that club shut down. Like, that's the problem, because it's so central. I think this London School of Economics is near as well, their campus. So a lot of like well-to-do posh kids go there. One time I was there was a mad, very boisterous crew of like, I think Indian students that were there that were going fucking nuts. The boys could not handle their booze at all. You know, the vibe killing in the bathroom stalls when you're in there trying to do your business is annoying. There's no locks on the doors. They keep pushing them open. There's just mad security guards everywhere. Like, there's so much different energies around you. People trying to fuck, people trying to score, people trying to just, I don't know, pickpocket. I don't know. It's just too much, man. It's too much. One of the worst clubs in the world. So people that go there and don't have a good time, it's your fault for going there in the first place. Anyways.